This is so fun! I'm so excited.
What are we doing?
Just we're aboard in the Harmony of the Seas right now.
Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back those who are interested in cruise content. I got another cruise video for you. My wife and I just got off our 10th cruise, and it was such an amazing time again. And this time we got to do it with my wife's entire family.
Welcome to Harmony of the Seas. Here we are on Royal Caribbean ship with our 3 generations, including our
What do you think,
crew.
Momsy?
Well, I think it's pretty cool.
All 16 of us went on Harmony of the Seas out of Galveston, Texas, down to Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. We had an amazing time, and we cruised with members of my wife's family who have either had a bad experience cruising or who have never cruised before. Everybody got off the ship and said it was such an amazing week. They can't wait to do it again. And honestly, I think we figured a couple things out over the last few years of doing cruises that might really help those who either haven't cruised before or who are cruising and are just looking for some tips for those who would like to get some more out of their cruise. On top of that, my wife and I are Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University graduates, and we like to do things on a budget without going into debt. But we also prioritize getting away as a family and making memories together. So I've assembled a list of 11 tips for those who are either first-time cruisers or early cruisers who are looking to get the most out of their cruise and to do so on a budget. So let's get started. Here are the 11 tips. First of all, don't pay full price. If you're a little bit flexible on your dates, maybe the cruise line that you take, the ships that you take, you can save a lot of money. Now, my wife and I have booked our last few cruises through a site called vacationstogo.com. I'll put the link in the description down below. Now, you don't have to book through them. There's a lot of places where you can get discount cruises online. In fact, you can even go directly to the cruise lines. We found great experience with Vacations to Go. We're not paid by them. I don't get anything for mentioning them in this video, but their site provides a really great way to search for cruises by date, by cruise line, by location, that will allow you to prioritize what you're looking for and really see what the prices are and make an educated choice. You may also want to look at picking your departure port on your cruise based on where you're able to get cheaper flights. For example, in Florida, you can cruise out of Jacksonville, out of Port Canaveral, out of Fort Lauderdale, out of Miami, or even out of Tampa. And so sometimes what we'll do is we'll look at flights first to see which airport is cheaper and then look for cruises out of that port afterwards. You can also find great deals like 90-day ticker, where there's last minute savings on cruises that are happening in the next 3 months. So essentially, if you're a little bit flexible on which port you go out of, what boat you go out of, what date you go, you can wind up probably saving a lot of money on a cruise. Tip number 2 for early cruisers would be to either fly or drive in the day before your cruise. You would hate to have some sort of backup at the airport, have you get in late and then miss the boat. So we recommend coming in a day before the cruise so you can get to the cruise port location, get settled, and get to the cruise port at a decent time on the morning that your cruise departs. Tip number 3 is book your transfers from the airport or from your hotel to the cruise port, and then from the cruise port back to the hotel or airport at the end of your cruise in advance. You can check online for snooze and cruise packages. Sometimes you can book these through the cruise line or with your travel agent, or even by yourself by finding a service online by Google or TripAdvisor. If you can book this in advance, you will likely avoid lines and expensive Uber or taxi fees trying to get to or from the cruise port before and after your cruise. Number 4, excursions. Excursions are a great way to enhance your vacation when you're on a cruise. Often cruises stop at multiple different stops along the way, and we recommend booking excursions in advance online before you get on the ship. Now, the cruise line may try to scare you into booking with them and suggesting that some of these excursion companies might not get you back to the boat on time and you could miss the boat. And while this is true, you don't want to miss the boat, most excursion companies at cruise ports, their livelihood depends on taking great care of cruisers, and they will ask you as soon as you get on the excursion, what time does your boat leave? And they'll get you back well in advance of when the boat leaves so you don't miss it. We've done this more than 10 times and have had a great experience each time. And frankly, not only can you avoid the lines and a lot of the bigger groups that come with booking the excursion directly with the cruise line, you can develop a much more custom excursion that fits the budget and the desire for your family and book online. In fact, a lot of times we don't even book an excursion with a company and we just go on our own. We maybe hire a cab. For example, in Nassau with our family, we just walked to a beach and took a cab to a military fort and did things on our own for a fraction of the cost. And on our last trip in Cozumel, we love to go to Chunkanab Park. It's a 10-minute cab ride from the cruise port and it's been great. We've been there multiple times. You can get a cab for about 10 bucks. It's about $30 per person to get into Chunkanab, and it was a great day with a private beach, snorkeling area, little restaurant where you can order some food. A really great beach day for a fraction of the cost of an excursion through the cruise company or even an external provider. In Roatan, on our most recent cruise, we chose to go with a tour company. They took us to some markets, they took us to the beach, they took us to a chocolate factory, we got on a boat to go snorkeling on the reef. It was a great excursion for about $100 per person, and they had us back in time. It was a great day, and I would highly recommend looking at TripAdvisor and sites online for reviews and potentially booking those things online ahead of time. Tip number 5, dining. Now there are tons of dining options on these ships nowadays. We've cruised with Royal Caribbean quite a bit, and we always book what's called My Time dining, so that you could pick a specific time. Typically there's 2 slots, like 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. We like My Time dining because we like to get to the shows that happen on the ship in the evenings. Typically there's an early show at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then a late show at 9:30 or 10. We like to eat in time so that we can get done with dinner and get to the 7:30 or 8 o'clock shows. Whatever your preferred dining time is, or if you plan on trying out some of the specialty restaurants, we recommend making those reservations ahead of time and planning ahead so that you can hit all the shows and activities that you want to after dinner. The 6th tip I'll give you is to download the cruise ship app and book shows, spa appointments, special restaurants, activity, internet, whatever it might be ahead of time. These ships have a lot of people on them, and especially some of the popular shows can fill up. Now, generally there's not a cost to go to the shows, but they do fill up, and if you book ahead of time, you can make sure that you're not missing anything on the ship. On Harmony of the Seas, there is as many as 5 venues all happening at the same time with limited seating to different shows. We were able to book all the shows except for one ahead of time, and then one right when we got on the ship, and we're able to see all 5 shows the week that we were on the ship, and it was fantastic. So, number 6, book the shows and make arrangements on the app as much as you can before you get on the ship. Tip number 7, print your documents and luggage tags ahead of time. Typically, a week or 2 before the cruise, you'll get a check-in notification on the cruise app from your travel agent or the cruise line that your check-in is ready. You can check in on the app and then log in and print out your baggage tags. These are the tags that will go on the checked luggage, or the luggage that when you get to the cruise port, you will leave with the baggage handling folks and they will deliver them to your stateroom. And then you can either fold or staple them to your bag, or in our case, we use these little bag tag holders from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description down below, and you can fasten the tags right to your bag. And typically between 1 and 3 o'clock, your bags are delivered directly to your stateroom. My 8th tip is to get to the cruise port earlier on your departure date, and you'll almost get a whole free extra day on the ship. On our last cruise, we were scheduled to board at 11:30. We arrived at about 10:45 to the cruise port. We breezed through security, aside from my mother-in-law getting stopped for a scissors in her bag, and we were able to get onto the ship before lunch. My son even got to ride the flow rider before his luggage was even delivered to the room.
About to go down the ultimate abyss.
So, get to the cruise port early so you get almost a whole extra day on the ship. If the ship's departing at, let's say, 4 o'clock in the evening, don't wait till later in the afternoon to get there. Take advantage and get to the cruise port early. Tip number 9 is as soon as you arrive on the ship, even if you've booked My Time dining, it's not a bad practice to go to the concierge on the main dining room and confirm your dining time and your table number. You'll also want to explore a bit. Finish the safety drill and report to your muster station. Literally every cruise line has a safety drill, and every cruiser must report to their muster station on the first day to understand what to do in case of emergency. Royal Caribbean does most of the safety drill on their app ahead of time, and you can finish up most of it while you're waiting to board the ship or right when you get on. But you'll definitely want to get your safety drill done and report to your muster station well in advance of cruise departure. You certainly don't want to get your name called over the loudspeaker telling them that they're waiting for you to come to the muster station to check in, so get that done right away. My 10th tip is if you like to have a beer or a glass of wine a few times during the week and maybe aren't a big drinker, maybe consider bringing a bottle of wine or two on board instead of buying it on the ship. My wife and I are not big drinkers, but like to have a glass of wine or a glass of beer on occasion through the trip. We typically avoid the expensive daily charge for the drink package, and most cruise lines like Royal Caribbean allow you to bring a bottle or two of your own on board in your carry-on luggage. Check with your cruise lines on the requirements for your cruise. In this last one, we brought 2 bottles, an opener, and some travel glasses in our carry-on bags. And it was great to sit out on the balcony and share a glass of wine, and you don't need to break the bank doing it. You can buy drinks on board even if you don't have the drink package, and they range from around $8 to $20. But the last we checked, I think the drink package was somewhere around $80 per day. If that's your thing, no shame here. We just like to bring a bottle or two on ourselves for the week, and that's sufficient for us. My 11th tip is that cruise ports are great, but don't feel like you need to get off on every stop. Sometimes ship activities are much less crowded on port days, and you can try out the surf simulator or iFly or ice skating or go-karts or bumper cars. In Costa Maya on this last trip, we got off for a few hours and then came back and had a nice meal without the crowds, and we enjoyed some of the onboard activities like the surf simulator, the water slides, ice skating rink, and there were less lines and much less congestion on the ship when you're on a port day. Honestly, cruising, in our opinion, is one of the most economical and fun vacations that you guys can take with your family. And we hope these tips help you and your family to get the most out of your next adventure. If you've liked this content, please like and subscribe. We so appreciate it. It really helps the YouTube algorithms. But in the meantime, have a blast on your next cruise. Make great memories with your family. And we'll see ya on the next video.